Okay, cool. Now you've had a go at sort of playing one note at a time, single notes, and you've got that ringing out nice and clear. Let's try and combine some more notes, more than one note at the same time, which is called playing a chord. Another word for that is harmony. So when we play more than one note at the same time, it's called harmonizing notes. And the modern name for that is chords. So the first chord we're going to learn is a chord called E minor. Now all of the sounds that we can play on the guitar are given names, and the name comes from the musical alphabet. And the musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F and G. And this chord we're going to play is called E minor. And that word minor means that it has a sad sound. So one other little thing we need to think about before we play is a pick. Usually people, when they play chords on the guitar, use a pick to play with or to strum the strings. So there's different types of picks. This is a sort of standard size Jim Dunlop pick. This is 60 millimeters and it's very flexible. So as a beginner, try not to use a really thick, hard pick. Try to choose one that's very, very flexible. The reason why that is when we come to strum a down and an upstroke, it's the upstrokes that can feel quite strange to do. And sometimes I've had students say to me about they feel like their pick is getting caught in the string. And sometimes that's because they've got too hard a pick and the pick isn't gliding up on the strings. But just for the moment, get yourself a nice flexible pick and we're going to look at our first chord, E minor. So, counting the strings from the bottom, we need to find string number 5 and string number 4. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 and string number 5. Now we've found those two strings, with our left hand, thinking of our fingers on our left hand, we're going to think, obviously that's your thumb, but that's going to be finger number 1. Sometimes, like for instance with piano, we might learn that our thumb is finger number 1. But for guitar, we're going to refer to our index finger as finger number 1. Then finger number 2, finger 3, and your pinky, finger number 4. So we need to play our first two fingers, finger 1, our index finger, and finger 2. And again, we're going to reach all the way around the guitar neck, your thumb being between the first and the second frets. And with the tip of your two fingers, we're going to place those on top of string 5 and 4 behind fret number 2. So if we make sure we're resting on our fingers on string 5 and 4, let's count up fret 1 and then fret 2. Now you won't be able to get both fingers right behind the fret. One of them might have a little gap between it and the fret, but don't worry too much about that at the moment. So providing you now have your first and second fingers on strings 5 and 4 behind fret 2, let's just pick those two strings, string 4 and 5. Now that's the sound we're looking for, a nice ringing sound. So again, if you're getting a buzzing sound like this, and they might not be ringing out, there's a dead sound, or you're getting this, that will be because you're not pressing down hard enough or your fingers are towards the back of the fret, not the front. So tuck your fingers right up behind that second fret, press down nice and firm, and then we're going to strum all 6 strings. So place your pick on top of string 6 and then we're going to let the pick glide across all 6 strings. Now again, while we're holding the pick, I'm holding the pick between my finger and my thumb, just in the centre of the pick, and the pointy bit is sticking at the bottom, which we're going to use to glide down the strings. Just imagine you're holding a pen and you're writing your name. It's that sort of position that we're after. The fingers on your right hand, don't have them curled up like this. Make sure your fingers are outstretched so that the palm of your hand is free to do any rests or to stop the strings ringing out. So let's go back to that chord, string 5 and 4, fret 2, and we're using finger number 1 and finger number 2 reaching all the way round. Place the tip of your finger on string 5 and 4, finger number 1 on string 5, finger number 2 on string 4, fret 2. Tuck them up nice and tight behind the fret, and then with your right hand placing your pick on top of the 6th string, let's just glide through all 6 strings. Now I'll count in after 4, and we'll do this 4 times to a count of 4. And I'll tap the body of the guitar for the counts. Something like this. 2, 3, 4, 2, and so on. So I'll count us in now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And with the palm of your hand, rest. Okay, one more time. After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. Okay, cool. So now take a few minutes, or sort of some time to practice playing that chord shape, finding the notes with your 1st and 2nd fingers, string 5 and 4, and get used to taking your fingers off and putting them back on and making as clear a sound as you can. So we're going to learn a set of chords. E minor was the first one. The next 3 are going to be G major, D major and A major, and that word major means they have a happy sound. So let's go on now and learn our 2nd chord, that's G major.